In front of you, you have what's called a guided inquiry. Lesson 6th and 7th graders. Locate that in front of you, please. Shut it all the way. I'd like you guys to take about 2 minutes before you've seen anything or done anything. I'd like you to fill out question number 1 and number 2. Knowledge of your resources, coupling it with the skills that you have in using those resources, which is, I see, the 21st century skills. You are a modern human being who can function at a high level in society. And isn't that our goal? You're a lifelong learner. You're an independent learner. You're golden. Several of you have expressed interest in becoming a journalist in the future. Tell me what you know about newspapers. Do your family take newspapers? Do you read newspapers? What have you heard about newspapers these days? I want to know how interested you are in the news. And that is regarding television or actual newspapers. Okay, there is an option there. If you don't watch news on the television, if you don't watch or read news in the newspapers, you can choose number 4. They live in a neighborhood which doesn't have a huge amount of recreational facilities or opportunities right at hand. So, and none of them are driving, and mom and dad are working really late at night. So in order to find social outlets, it's hard work. It's hard work based on the reality of the situation. So you really have to take critical thinking with lower income, inner city, all these things that, you know, we talk about. To me, it's even more critical that they get those critical thinking skills, because their decisions that they have to make in their life are 10 times harder. It's just a circle the best answer. Okay? Eric, you've got yours, you've got yours. Eric, will you go to a desktop 2? I do not want you to click this button where it says keep my account private, because that would not allow us to look at each other's newspapers, and we are going to be able to look at each other's newspapers. That's what it means to me. It's about engaging and customizing our life. It's about networking and interacting, you know, on familiar ground or on, you know, sort of interest, mutual interest. And I don't really see an end to what it can do for you as a professional, with networking and collaborating with other people, as a teacher, engaging your students, as an individual, customizing and personalizing your life, using a lot of the 21st century web-based tools, alongside with guided inquiry. To me, it's the definition of modernization, really, where we're at. Come to this website tomorrow, later on tonight. Your stories, your news stories will not be the same. Keep going next, kiddos, until you're done. Oh, in which case, skip it and go to my interests. Yep, and I need you to kind of catch up. Your news stories will change because they are RSS feed based. Your news stories will change, so if you log on tonight at 5 o'clock from home, all your news stories will be different.
The easiest thing is to teach direct instruction, but I don't always think it's the most beneficial for the students, because again, you're spoon feeding them. You're not really teaching them to learn. So right now, the focus of this lesson is looking at a variety of trails west. We break down into 3 different groups, and they have 3 different stations. We started on Monday. Today is Wednesday, so we're in the 3rd and last station, and each day they change to a different station. Over here, the station is the Oregon Trail, which they're playing the Oregon Trail game, and they're going to have some questions and things like that to answer tomorrow once we go back into class about what they learned from the Oregon Trail game, and we're giving a prize to whoever can make it farthest on the Oregon Trail. This station over here, they're taking a look at the Mormon Trail to Utah, and they're writing a 5-paragraph essay as a group. This group's already watched the movie, so they're just kind of breaking down what they want the 5-paragraph essay to look like and talking about that. The group that's over there in the computer lab is doing a PowerPoint presentation, and so I can encompass as many trails as possible. I've divided it up into each group had to do a PowerPoint. Their choices were the Erie Canal, the 49er trails, and the California trails, and the Santa Fe Trail. And each group had to do a different one. They're going to take their PowerPoint presentation, and again tomorrow they're going to present their PowerPoint presentation to the rest of the class and teach the rest of the class about their particular trail that they were in charge of. My teaching philosophy is that the world is ever evolving. And something I heard when I went to the 21st Century School Conference in Washington, D.C. is that jobs 10 years from now have not even been created. So my idea is to teach the kids to learn real life. How can you relate the building of the Erie Canal to real life? And then teach them how to learn as opposed to just giving them information. My philosophy is it's not just about dates, it's not about people necessarily, it's about life skills and applying the significance to the real world today. Is what your role is, and then take that and incorporate it into the group. I think that's important that they have a role. I don't just put them in groups and say, all right, get this done, because a lot of times what I see is that one person will take over and do everything, and so if each of them has a role, it makes it easier to get them to work collaboratively. So, and it seems to be working. It seems to be working well.
This video presents examples of promising classroom practices in 21st century learning. We at the Council on 21st Century Learning have been engaged in lively conversations with educators across Colorado and beyond about transforming K-12 education. This video extends that conversation, moving from abstract ideas to concrete examples. It's easy to talk about the need for change, but far more difficult to actually create the change from schooling to learning. We see that change occurring, and we can learn from those who are leading the way. These examples come from the Colorado school districts of Aurora, Colorado Springs, and Denver. We refer to the practices as promising because they demonstrate progress toward 21st century learning. Like the practitioners themselves, we think they could be better still. We hope that you will find them useful as you consider your own efforts.